All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Thursday to you. It's Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Man, it's good to be back with you guys. Sorry, I'm running a little behind this morning, but I did want to get back on the horse this morning. And I wanted to talk about why rest is important. I've taken a couple of days off here from hanging out with you guys in the morning. And I wanted to talk about the importance of, when you're not feeling 100%, the importance of rest and just what that means in your daily life. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, what's happening, guys? Good morning to you, and happy Thursday, man! It's good to be back with you guys. I've been off for a couple of days here, and wanted to talk a little bit about why that was, and then give you guys some perspective on just kind of how I handle, rest, and how I handle, the times like this week where I'm feeling a little run down, and just kind of how I get back on track from that, and so. Thank you guys for being here. Apologize for missing you guys for a few days. Thank you guys for all the messages and all the concern about where I was. And, I don't usually put out there that I'm not feeling too great because I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. But I appreciate all the messages that you guys sent me, just well wishes and asking if I'm okay. So I appreciate it. So why rest is important? Well, let me put it to you this way, guys. For me, those of you who have ever spent time around me, or, those of you who follow along closely here know that, I try to pack a lot of stuff into my schedule. And so I'm normally a 4 a.m. riser. I get up around 4 o'clock in the morning. I got stuff going on, starting right around 4:45 some days of the week. And so, for me, my schedule is pretty tight, and it's pretty demanding. And I typically get home from the office around 5:30ish, give or take. So it's a pretty long day from the time that I wake up just until I get home, let alone the things that, I've got to do when I get home, playing with the kids, putting them to bed, whatever it is. And so, sometimes when we don't feel the best, when we get sick or we're not feeling 100%, for me, man, that's a big problem because I don't have a lot of wiggle room in my schedule, right? And so as we examine the whole idea of rest, if you guys see stuff going on back there's window washers right outside my office window. So, but as you examine the whole idea of rest and why rest is so important, you and we've all been there, right? You cannot function at your best unless when something happens, when you're not feeling on top of your game, you actually take the time to rest and allow your body to reset. It's a really, really important thing. And I think that, for a lot of people, you'll hear the social media influencers out there say, man, to win, you just have to grind. And that's true, right? You do have to put in a lot of hard work. But on the flip side, you also have to be aware of what's going on in your life. And it's critically important for you to keep rest at the top of your list. Now, I am not a person that typically sleeps a ton. I'm 4 to 6 hours of sleep is probably reasonable for me. 4 can be a little tough if it's too many days in a row. But if I get 6 hours of sleep, I'm golden. And that's just from the routine that I've kind of built up. Now, there are days where, I go too many days in a row without getting a lot of sleep, and it takes me a little bit of time. It takes me a couple of days of more sleep to kind of catch up, right? And so, don't put yourself on some crazy disciplined schedule of sleep time. Make sure that you're paying attention to how you feel. And so if you need to get a couple extra hours of sleep, go to bed earlier. It doesn't, I don't typically, other than if I am like literally sick, I don't typically adjust my morning schedule. I wake up at the same time regardless. The only way that I adjust that is if I feel there's a need to, because I got to let my body heal or recover or do whatever it needs to do to be able to get back on track. But I do go to bed earlier, right? And my wife will attest to this. There's days that I walk upstairs at 8 o'clock, 8:30, because I'm exhausted, right? I've had a long day, either mentally or physically or whatever that may be. So I think that it's really important to, number one, just gauge the amount of sleep that you get. There's a lot of devices out there that can help you guys with this too. There's a wristband that I use called the Whoop Band, WHOOP. And that will help you track your sleep cycles and track your recovery every day. And that thing will help you tremendously. Just get an idea of how much rest you're getting. Are you getting enough to be able to recover and put your body back in motion properly? And also attached to your body is this thing called your brain. And so your brain has to be able to function at a high level for you to have the proper mental acuity to be able to do whatever it is that you need to do. So if you're not sharp, man, look at your sleep patterns. Look at how much sleep you're getting. Maybe you just need one day of a significant amount of sleep, and then you could go back to your normal schedule. But if you keep cheating yourself, you're cheating yourself of peak performance in any situation. And so it doesn't matter whether you're working out at the gym, or maybe you still play some sports, or in the game of business. You are not at your peak performance if you are not feeling well. And so for me, it's really important when these situations occur where I'm not feeling my best, to be able to unplug and give myself a couple of days to just get back on track. And so I appreciate all the messages. I appreciate all the calls and text messages and, people asking. And, I'm good. It's not like I'm, in some crazy bad situation. I just didn't feel well. And so for me, it was important to get that rest, and to wake up at 4 a.m. When you're not feeling well is generally a bad idea. And I had a pretty bad cough for a couple of days. And so it was really difficult for me to kind of keep up with the schedule that I have. And so unplugged for a couple of days, still got some work done, still did all the other stuff that I do, but just giving myself a little bit of a rest in the mornings here was extremely helpful. And so yesterday I felt a lot better, not 100%. This morning I feel significantly better even than yesterday. And so I wanted to hang out with you guys here this morning and just kind of catch you up on what's been going on and give you my perspective on why rest is so important. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Rick, the tool that I mentioned is called a Whoop Band, WHOOP. But there are many out there that you can look into that'll track your sleep and give you some data behind that. But you'll see, if you use one of those tools, you'll see your sleep cycles, which tells you, how many hours at a time you're typically in deep or REM sleep. And then, that way, man, is it better for me to sleep 4 hours versus 5 hours? Because if you wake up in the middle of a sleep cycle, you can actually feel more groggy than if you got less sleep. So paying attention to that stuff is important. But I hope this message was helpful to you guys. And thank you guys for hanging in there. And again, thanks for all the messages. And I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Rick, Christina, Hayden, David, Carla, Carolyn, Randy, Amanda, Scott, Jared, Christina. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here this morning, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Love you guys.